After an absolute train wreck of an episode, and not because of who came along to surprise me and say hello, it's finally time to get back on track. Hello again, ladies and gentlemen. Luke Lynch, Commander of the Legion, back for the next part of Let's Play Assassin's Creed 2. Last time around, my performance completely went to hell, and we only barely managed to get much of anything done. But we also had one of my closest friends along for commentary, for help on commentary, so the trade-off, I guess. This time, we're mostly going to be focusing on getting whatever tombs done that we can. As I wanted to do last episode, but completely forgot that they were locked behind a story mission. But first, something I've been meaning to do for a while.
Leonardo. Ezio, so good to see you. How can I help? Haha! We found another one. How exciting! Yes, we just switch these two lines and shuffle them left. Done.
Just to get that out of the way. Let's see if I can actually catch you this time. What? Well, that happened. Okay, after that absolutely amazing leaping ability from that messenger, let's take on this tomb.
Grazia, stay away from the artwork on the walls. And when your men paint the dome, take care not to disturb any of the sacred relics in the lanterna on top. They are the most important artifacts in our church.
Yes, Padre. Just make sure to pay us the full sum for our work.
Il Duomo Secret. Explore Basilica Santa Maria del Fiore and find the assassin seal hidden within. Truly a drop-dead gorgeous building.
Then, now I have a way back up in case I fall.
Which, knowing me, will probably happen quite a lot. But now we want to go up here. And across. Yeah, we want to go there. Whew, thank God. Alright, yeah, we want to go this way. Nope. Over, along. This part is not easy. There's a lot going on here. What do we want to do here? I think we want to jump? Yep. Okay. I'm not sure. No, we want to go this way. And up we go. And then nothing over there, so we want to go up. Yeah, I don't think we're going to be able to grab onto anything over there. Over here, though, definitely. I was right there. There we go. Ah, okay. There we go. And we're up. Open the sarcophagus and every other chest in here. And that is the secret of the Duomo completed. Alright, so that is everything in Florence done before we return to the story. Really quick, what I'm going to do is I'm going to travel to Monteriggioni and Tuscany, San Gimignano, to see if there are any tombs there that we can raid. So let me get down from the Duomo, preferably without dying, but I guess not. Well, at least we spawn on the ground. Alright, so now that I'm down from the Duomo, I'm going to cut away, travel to Tuscany and the villa, see if I can find anything. If I find something, I'll meet you guys there. Otherwise, I'll meet you guys over by the next story mission. So as it turns out, there is indeed an assassin's tomb in Tuscany. Let's raid it. Infiltrate Torre Grossa and find the assassin's seal hidden within. So for our next tomb, we get a swim in a toilet. Lovely. You can take out the guards here if you like. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. Let's see what happens if I leave them alone. You get spotted straight away. Not that that means anything. Alright, now, back to the beginning. He's up there. Shh. Alright. We want to go there. Then to here. Then back this way. To one of these two ledges. Up and over.
want this copy.
Better for you to die cleanly now, traitor.
Shh, shh.
Not you! He's there! Don't get off so easy.
Alright, so we want to go over this way. Alright, so that is not where we want to jump to.
Eccolo, you want it?
This would probably be an elevator shaft in modern times.
Eccolo! There! There! Eccolo! There! There!
There we go. Alright, let's get the hell up out of here. Good, so it's actually easy to get down from. Alright, let's head over to a fast travel station And I will see you guys at the next Assassin's Tomb I find, or, depending on if that's the last one I can get, which it very well might be. We've already got half the Assassin Seals. Sorry, lost my train of thought for a second. But since we've got half of the Assassin Seals, that may very well be the last Assassin's Tomb we can do for right now. But just to be safe, I'm going to check Monteriggioni regardless, and I will see you guys once I come back. Sure enough, here we are. This is a pretty special one, because this is not just any Assassin's Tomb. Keep watching. Paying respects. Explore the Auditore family crypt. There's also a whole bunch of lore that we should read. Venice, 1296. I was raised in a small house by the Venetian lagoon, within sight of the rough foam-capped waves of the sea. When I was barely old enough to walk, I became a sailor, navigating the Atlantic first as an apprentice, and then while carrying cargo for my father's patron, Messer Marco Polo. It was a good life. Ashore. One day, while ashore in the harbor looking for work, I fell in love. She was barely 20, but when I looked into her eyes, the whole world was reflected back, clearer and brighter than the sun. After that, I still went to sea, but my heart remained on land with the girl, who had become my wife, and our young son. Before we activate that. Birthright. One afternoon that summer, Messer Polo called me into his study. My father was already there, beside an older man, dressed in a strange hooded cape, watching us. At that moment, everything about my life changed. My father told me that he was an assassin. Removing his ring, he showed me a strange marking on his finger, explaining that our family came from an ancient order that protected and defended mankind. He paused, and then, when I didn't speak, Messer Polo stepped forward. He told me that the stranger in the hood would teach me, and in return I would carry him across the Mediterranean to Spain. And so began my apprenticeship with Dante Alighieri, one that was to destroy every bit of happiness I would ever have. Well, that's not ominous at all. Well, finally swimming in a toilet. Excuse me. Here we go. A mentor. In preparation for our voyage, Messer Alighieri met with me repeatedly. At first, our meetings were about purchasing supplies, but they soon became about higher things, about life, love, honor, and justice. He taught me that society was set up in such a way as to control its members, to stop us from thinking. Soon, I could look past all the laws and illusions. I understood that mankind was being used by its rulers, that we, the people, deserved freedom. It was then that Dante began showing me pages from a book that Messer Polo had brought back from the palace of the great Genghis Khan. The manuscript, the Codex, was about our order, the Assassins. Okay, now I'm confused. How the hell am I supposed to get to that chest up there? An unexpected farewell. Our planned voyage never took place. While returning to Ravenna to pick up the remainder of his belongings, Dante died. Dismayed at the loss of my mentor, I went to inform my father and Messer Polo of the sad news. Before I could even speak, I was ushered into the study, and my father, his face white, locked the door behind us. Behind me, I should say. Shocked, I listened in silence as he spoke. Dante intended to take the Codex to Spain where it would be safe, but he was being watched. The enemy of the Assassins, the Knights Templar, still existed. I recalled the stories he had told me of the Templars, and it all became clear. Dante had been murdered. The Templars knew about the Codex, and they knew about us. Shaking, my father told me to take the Codex and leave for Spain at once, with my wife and child. As Messer Polo ushered me out the door, he handed me a small piece of paper with a number on it. With this number, I could draw on his credit. More ducats than I had ever seen in my life, at any bank in Italy. Well, that's all well and good, but how the hell do I get to that chest? There was a chest up there that I want. at sea. We set sail that night. The ship filled with cargo to sell in the markets of Barcelona. At first, all was well. Then, to avoid a coming storm, we laid anchor in the Otranto harbor. Cloaked in darkness, the pirates came. I didn't see them until they were already boarding my ship. I hid with my family in the hold. Pulling out the codex, I ran the worn leather cover through my hands. Then, I broke the spine. The pages slid silently onto the floor. I scattered them into the chests, boxes, and containers I was carrying to market. The men who found us were drunk. I could smell it on their breath. When they asked for the codex, I knew who had sent them. Holding back my rage, I said that I had thrown it overboard. They started to laugh. 2 held me down, still grinning, while the rest cut off my wife's clothes. She begged for mercy until her voice gave out. Once they were done, they threw her into the sea. They took my cargo and sunk my ship, and left me adrift, clinging to a piece of railing. I made it to the beach with my son. My wife's body washed up on shore the next morning with the tide. That's some dark shit. Open the door, but before I do, a new name. I never saw the sea again. Making my way to Florence, I rented a small room and then visited the bank. I had memorized Polo's account number. With the vast sum I now had at my disposal, I went to Venice in disguise to find my father. I returned to Florence the next day. Both Polo and my father were already dead. From that moment forward, I collected treatises on architecture, studied the classics, and took vocal lessons. I adopted the name Auditore, impersonating a noble at the Florentine court. Accepted as one of their own, I took on the trappings of nobility and constructed this villa for me and my son. And then, I hunted them. I raised my son to fight, to find the Codex, and to kill Templars. Together, we would regain the honor of my wife and avenge the death of my father. 2 debts that could never be repaid. To the auditory that reads this, remember that you are not a nobleman. You are not one of the deceivers. You are one of the people. Avenge us. And there we have it. Now, I'm gonna see if I can go back in there at some point and grab that chest that I missed. But for right now, I'm gonna go empty the villa's chest. And I'll meet you guys back in Florence to continue the story. Alright, we are back in Florence. Let's continue the story. Wolves in sheep's clothing prevent the conspirators from attacking the Medici family. Locate Francesco De Pazzi. I see him.
There's Lorenzo, his wife. There's Giuliano, Lorenzo's brother. Where is Francesco? There he is. Time to strike. Creppa! Venitore! Giuliano! No! No! Nome di Dio! Il congiuro, pietà! Nessuna pietà! Cane maledetto! Muori! 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 Your day is done, Lorenzo! Your entire family dies by my sword! Fuck! I kill! You brought this on yourself! Die! Just die already! Please! I need help!
That's exactly why I'm here.
Saved my life. It's nothing. But the man who did this to you has to pay. Ah! Not now. I need help first. To my home. People I trust. Can you... Ah! All right, this way. I'm losing a lot of blood. Hang on, Signor. I'm moving as fast as I can. Francesco Del Pazzi! I'll kill you. I'll wipe the entire family from the city. They'll be erased! Quietate, signori. Conserve your energy, or I'll be delivering a corpse. We're almost there now.
Ooh, he barocketed his ass.
Seguimi. This way. Lorenzo's been wounded. Aprite la porta! What's the password? Polizia, open the maledetta porta. By the Christ greatest, come in, quickly! The city is at war! Hurry! Wait. I am in your debt. Tell me, why did you help me?
You are not the only one who lost a brother to the Pazzi. My name is Ezio Auditore.
You're Giovanni's son. Your father was a good man. He understood honor, loyalty.
The Pazzi thugs are storming the Palazzo della Signoria. We cannot hold them off much longer.
No. If they get inside, they'll murder our supporters and put their own devils in power. Then my survival would mean nothing. I have to... Francesco de Pazzi. Help save our city, Auditore. Kill him.
I would have done so even if not for your attack. So we've just hit the hour mark and we've completed the mission Wolves in Sheep's Clothing. I say we see if we can't take down Francesco de Pazzi before we end things off here.
Signori, I saw Francesco lead a battalion around the back of the Palazzo della Signoria. I fear he may be seeking another way in.
Go, before it's too late. Do what you can.
Yep. Farewell, Francesco. Find and kill Francesco de Pazzi. And don't you worry, Jacopo will get his as well. But that comes... Hello. That comes much later in the game. But first, let's see if we can't get rid of this notoriety that we now have. Alright, so we're gonna try and take out Francesco de Pazzi.
Dead! Why aren't you dead? Men! Slaughter him!
One's coming. It's just us now.
Maledetto, che il diavolo ti porti! Stammi lontano!
Okay. So, now we're chasing down Francesco de Pazzi. And he's dead.
Now Firenze will judge you for what you've done.
It's over. It's all over.
Meglio essere felici in questa vita e aspirare a esserlo nella prossima. Requiesca in pace.
Libertà! 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 Popolo e libertà! Libertà!
Francesco?
Farewell, Francesco. Memory synced. Sequence 4 complete. And we're back on the bridge where we started the game. Funnily enough, a Templar tomb has just been unlocked. And I'm not sure what building that is, but we will check that out in the next episode. So, next time on Assassin's Creed 2, we will raid that Templar tomb, and then we will speak with Lorenzo de' Medici and see what he has for us. See you guys then.